Let's go ahead and get started here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and call the legislative meeting for the Board of County Commissioners to order for Tuesday, December 8th. Let the record reflect that we have all three commissioners present. And by way of an update, I'd like to take resolution number 1 separately, and then we are striking item 3B. The road department is kicking that to next week. And then we have a by lead item, item number 6. And this is an appointment for Council for Defense. Is there anything else that any of my fellow commissioners would like to adjust or pull out separately out of today's agenda? Okay, seeing none, then with regard to resolution number 1, or item number 1, resolution, this is the annual adoption and or rejection of the Martin Hall budget. In this iteration of the budget, they have, in reviewing the numbers, I will reach out to the leadership at the Martin Hall Consortium, but there are, and you look at the budget there, including $50,000 in capital expense, which we've not had any say in, and also their maintenance and repairs are high. They have included Grant County, and instead of replacing us with Grant County, they're using Grant County to lower the fees, so 155 per bed as opposed to 180 per bed. But traditionally, our vote on resolution number 1, for as long as I've been here, is to reject it. It doesn't mean anything other than a statement of position with regard to our opposition of continuing to help subsidize the other counties in terms of their juvenile detention facilities, but that's just me. So since taking resolution number 1 separately, Chair is open to a motion on item number 1.
Mr. Chair, I move to reject resolution item number 1A on today's 2 p.m. consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second to reject item 1A. Any discussion other than what I've already said? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Let the record show that the motion passes unanimously to reject the budget for Mountain Hall. So I've now filed that appropriately. So now the chair is open to a motion for the balance of the agenda.
Mr. Chair, move to approve agenda items 2, 3, 4, 5, as well as by leave item number 6, including all sub items thereunder, with the exception of item 3B, which has been stricken from today's agenda.
And also separating out item 5, which are public hearings.
Correct.
Very good. Got a motion?
I'll second that.
And a second. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Let the record reflect motion passed unanimously. Then moving on to item 5, public hearings. 5A is in the matter of the Newman Lake Flood Control Zone District 2021 assessment roll. And I believe we have Mr. Casey Evans to speak to this item. Mr. Evans.
Your Honor, I am the attorney that's representing the Newman Lake Flood District at this time, but I believe that Mr. Coles is presenting the presentation at this time.
Okay, Mr. Coles.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Let's see. Hopefully you guys have the PowerPoint presentation. I could share that if
I've got a chat.
If you've got it, that's perfect.
1 second.
I gotta change my video view. Oops, that's not the right one. Uh-oh. Well, thank you. So this is the Newman Lake Flood Control Zone District Assessment Roll hearing. Going to the second slide, if you could. Board of Equalization hearing, pardon me for the wrong presentation there. The Newman Lake, if you can go to the next slide, please. The assessments for this year have been calculated in the same manner as we've calculated them for a number of years in the past, for as long as I've been around with the Newman Lake Flood Control Zone District. The budget for this year, as the board recalls, is slightly less, $94 less than last year's budget. And next slide. This gives you kind of the range of assessments in the flood control zone district and the county range. With that, if the board has any questions, I'd be happy to entertain them or get somebody who really understands this stuff. Maybe Colleen Little can help us.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Coles? So for the record, I have received an email from John Black and communicating a email from Dennis Rewinkle that talks about opinions with regard to assessment. So for the record, we will enter that. And so this is a public hearing, and so I will open up the hearing for anybody in the audience who'd like to provide any testimony on hearing item 5A, which is the Newman Lake Flood Control Zone District 2021 assessment roll. Second call for anybody wanting to provide testimony on item 5A. Third and final call.
We do have people in the audience, but I'm not sure if they want to speak or not.
Okay,
Waiting for from the raise your hands or send something in the chat.
so if you're in the audience and you'd like to provide testimony on item 5A, please either raise your hand or provide some indication that you want to provide testimony.
Tina is getting brought in.
Okay. So, Tina, if you want to provide testimony, you've got 3 minutes to share your thoughts with the board.
Actually, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, actually, it's my brother-in-law, Jeff Clark here.
I'm Jeff Clark. We live up behind the lake. A host of my neighbors are very concerned that this is even going forward. And what business is it of the Newman Lake Flood Control to address assessments? That's not their business. They had no more right to borrow $30,000 in the Spokane Animal Control. So who do we see about that?
Okay. Sure.
I would like to just dissolve this completely. I don't think we need it. None of our neighbors want it. And there's no way of contacting these people in the middle of this pandemic to get any consensus of what they actually feel. A lot of them don't even own computers, let alone know how to do a Zoom meeting.
Okay.
It's, I think, very poorly addressed, as well as my neighbors feel the same way. And there's lots and lots of neighbors that feel that way.
Okay. Anything else, sir?
That's about it.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your testimony. Anybody else in the audience like to provide any testimony on
Someone named Cheryl.
Cheryl?
My wife.
Floor is yours. You there? You're on mute. Cheryl, you need to unmute yourself. Cheryl? You're talking, we can't hear you because you're on mute. You need to unmute your computer so that you can testify. Okay,
Okay, then Karen Stebbins would like to testify as well.
can you bring her up? Is she on phone or
She'll
Zoom?
be coming up here soon.
Okay.
Cheryl's unmuted.
Okay, Cheryl, you're unmuted now. Do you want to provide any testimony? Still can't hear you.
Here we go. Hello, I'm Karen Stebbins, Chair of the Newman Lake Flood Control Zone District Advisory Board. I just wanted to say I appreciate that the assessments have not increased for this year. Colleen did a great job of listening to us in that aspect. And so that's, I guess, all I want to say. And I know that you are working on trying to come to a resolution on fair and equitable, and hopefully one of these days that will come to some fruition. But as it stands right now, like I said, I appreciate the assessments not going up, especially for residents that have potentially been impacted by budget concerns with COVID and whatnot. So just wanted to put that in front of all of you who have probably already heard that before, but thank you for your time.
Thank you, Karen. So Cheryl, are you in a position to where you can unmute yourself? Okay, go ahead. Okay, we still can't hear you, Cheryl. Is it on our end or their end?
Probably on hers.
Probably on her end.
Yeah, want to state the call-in number, Gina?
If you like, you can call us at 477-4050. The collaboration code is 330641. And that number is 477-4050. And the collaboration is 330641.
Okay. Well, we're waiting for Cheryl. Judy, can you unmute yourself and go ahead. The floor is yours, Judy.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, what I want to say is I appreciate you not increasing or changing the way that you do the tax assessment. There's been a lot of talk about eliminating all the legal tax, open space, farming, a forest, and this is a voluntary program, and when it was established, those legal tax exempt valuations were considered, and that's why we agreed to it. And so I think it's really important that you don't listen to this so-called fair and equitable of the people who are on the lake and don't want to pay for the benefit that they get for their lakefront property. So going forward, I'm a farmer. We farm 45 acres there. And so we are not for eliminating our tax evaluation exemptions for farming or forest or open space. And thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you, Judy. So one more time, Nathan Thomas, I think that's one of ours.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, and Judy's already testified. So Cheryl, you want to try it one more time, Cheryl? Okay. Is there anybody else that'd like to provide any testimony for this afternoon's hearing? You don't see anybody? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close the hearing and look to my fellow commissioners for direction. Oh, wait a minute, time out?
Cheryl might have figured it out.
All right, well, I don't see her on the screen. Cheryl, you figured it out? Are you there, Cheryl?
There she is.
Unmute yourself. We lived in hope. All right, you're unmuted. Go ahead. Still don't have any comments. We can't hear you, Cheryl.
Cheryl, can you type something in the chat box? If you can hear us. What's the number?
477-4050. ID is 330-641-641.
Send you the number, Cheryl, if you want to call in.
So before I close the hearing, I'm going to give Cheryl a couple more minutes to try and connect with us. So I'm going to continue the hearing on item 5A for another 5-10 minutes. And then we'll move on to hearing item number 5B in the matter of revising Spokane County Traffic Code number 46.44.0802, restricted traffic on Graves Road. Mr. Coles.
Thank you, Commissioner French. This is a traffic code revision that intends to limit truck traffic on Graves Road in North Spokane County. You can see on the screen that Graves Road connects 395 or Division Street to Wall Street in the North Spokane area, just north of Country Homes Boulevard. The condition of the roadway is it's very narrow. It's a 20-foot wide roadway with going through a residential neighborhood. The area is served very well by arterials on all sides. And we received a request from the neighbors in the area to restrict truck traffic on this. It is my recommendation to approve that restriction.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Coles? Seeing none. This is also a hearing item. So I'm going to open it up to anybody in the audience that'd like to provide any testimony on hearing item 5B, which is in the matter of restricting truck traffic on Graves Road. Second call for anybody wanting to provide testimony. Third and final call. See nobody step forward. I'm going to close the hearing on 5B. Look to my fellow commissioners for direction.
Mr. Chair, I move to accept the recommendation of the county engineer and approve item 5B as presented.
I will second the motion.
Okay, I've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, let the record reflect motion passed unanimously. Then moving on to 5C, in the matter of revising Spokane County Traffic Code number 46.61.4155.4, add 35 mile per hour speed limit on 7 Mile Road. Mr. Coles.
Yes, this is, as you said, Commissioner French, this is a reduction in speed in the area right around the intersection of Old Trails Road and 7 Mile Road. If you recall, in the last few years, Old Trails Road has been improved to very nice roadway from an old gravel twisty road through the state park up to arterial standard, and provides a nice connection to the West Plains area of Spokane County. With that connection, we've seen a lot of an increase in traffic along at this intersection. and have some near misses and some complaints from the neighborhood. We've got some limited sight distance. I recommend that we do this reduction in speed in that area as a safety precaution.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Coles. Any questions for Mr. Coles? Seeing none, then this is the hearing item, so I'll open it up for anybody in the audience like to provide any testimony on hearing item 5C. Second call for anybody wanting to provide testimony on 5C. Third and final call. I will close the hearing and look to my fellow commissioners for direction.
Mr. Chair, I move to accept the county engineer's recommendation and approve item 5C on today's agenda.
I'll second that.
Got a motion to second to approve item 5C. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Aye, let the record reflect motion passed unanimously. Then moving on to 5D. Consider vacation of a portion of unnamed right-of-way between Lot 8 and Lot 9 of Moody's subdivision number 3, County Engineers Road File number 0837. Mr. Coles.
Thank you, Commissioner French. This is an unbuilt section of dedicated right-of-way that was dedicated through the plat of Moody's subdivision, Moody's number 3 subdivision. This is in the North Spokane area, just north of Mount Spokane Road, just to the west of Newport Highway. This section of the road is unimproved, as I mentioned. It's 40 feet wide, approximately 40 feet wide by 1,300 feet long. It has no current public use, and due to the terrain, if you continue off to the west, you get to very steep terrain down to the Little Spokane River Valley. It's unusable as a future transportation route. So I do recommend that we vacate this roadway. It provides all roads connected to it, or all properties adjacent to it are provided access through other means.
Any questions for Mr. Coles? Seeing none, this is a hearing item. So I'll open up the hearing to anybody in the audience who'd like to provide testimony on hearing item 5D. Second call for anybody wanting to provide testimony. Third and final call. So you know.
Hey there, can anybody hear me?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Okay, I just want to thank you for your time, commissioners. My name is Paul Gorman. I'm the property owner that surrounds that easement there. I just want to give you a little more info on it, just in case anybody else is listening that's wondering why it's being vacated. We bought this property in 2013 that basically encompasses that entire right-of-way there. When we purchased the property, it's actually an old railroad right-of-way from an abandoned line like 100 years ago. And I think in our legal description, it still says R/R ROW. So just a little more info from you there. I've been here 7 years. It's never been used by anybody but me. I've been the one maintaining it with mowing the field grass and controlling noxious weeds and stuff like that. So I would appreciate the vacation and the ownership reverted back to me. Appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. So is there anybody else on the line that would like for any testimony? Seeing or hearing none, I'm going to close the hearing. Look to my fellow commissioners for direction.
Mr. Chair, I move to accept the recommendation of the county engineer and approve item 5D as presented.
I will second that.
Got a motion and a second to approve item 5D. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Let the record reflect motion passed unanimously. Then circling back to 5A, I don't know that we've had any more luck.
Cheryl Roeder, testimony.
I'm getting cut off and I'm unmuted at my end. Notification. Okay, we've got your testimony, Cheryl. Thank you very much. Final call for anybody else like to provide testimony on item 5A. Seeing or hearing nobody come forward, I'm going to close the hearing. on 5A and look to my commissioners for direction.
Mr. Chair, move to approve item 5A as presented by staff.
I will second that.
Got a motion and a second to approve 5A as presented by staff. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Let the record reflect motion passed unanimously. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That completes all the items on our printed agenda. The only other items we have are miscellaneous items. Do either of my fellow commissioners have any miscellaneous items you want to bring forward at this time? Seeing none.
Yes, we were, Jerry, did we have, to authorize the spending of CARES dollars for the jail?
That would be a great idea. We've got, thanks for the reminding me, it's 135,000, but it will probably be closer to 150. But yes, if I can get authorization, that'd be great.
Mr. Chair, move to approve and authorize the expenditures of CARES dollars up to $150,000 to cover COVID-related expenses.
At the detention.
Yes, for detention services. I apologize.
Thank you. I'll second that. And just, it's due to the outbreak that we need these additional funds to testing to ensure that we keep the that is in our facilities.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, let the record reflect motion passed unanimously. Yes, Mr. Gimmel.
Thank you. We're getting really close to the date that's going to put out the small arms range bid. And in past meetings, we've visited with the board about maybe there were some local experts in the construction trade that would be nominated. And so if you have someone, could you please let me or Tony Hall know, because we're starting to put together our scoring team. So appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And then I know yesterday we had touched on that pretty soon here, we're going to have to appoint for the other boards and commissions. Can we ask Gina, can you send us out the list of the current boards and commissions? I mean, that we're going to have to divvy up committees.
Yes.
She's shaking her head, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I believe Commissioner French, you had referenced yesterday, we have two board appointments we need to make, I think civil service and library district.
That's the last time I checked the front counter, we needed you guys to decide who you wanted to support in that realm. So as soon as we got candidates that have got 2 signatures on it, we can go ahead and process them.
Okay, and I gave mine to Gina earlier today on the phone to mark down for me.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Anything else for the good of the order?
Mr. Chair, on Mr. Evans's conflict, I'd ask that there be a motion to waive that conflict at least through the end of January, although I expect to move prior to that time on it.
Okay, so do you want to shape the motion the way you want it to be read into the record?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would ask a motion be put forward, which would say that the Board of County Commissioners is aware of and waives any conflict problems with Mr. Evans handling the Newman Lake Flood Control Zone District matters from the time he became on board through no later than January 31st, 2021. Mr. Evans has come on. If he has anything to add to that, Mr. Chair, I would appreciate that be stated.
Okay. So
nodding affirmatively, it looks like.
I so move. I'll make a motion to that effect.
And I'll second it.
Thank you. Got a motion and a second. Mr. Evans, did you want to speak to the motion?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I did acquire actually just minutes ago property in Newman Lake. It's a 38 parcel that is within the district. And so I did bring that to, I discussed the matter with Jim Amacio as well as Jim Kaufman about the matter. At least at this time, I don't foresee a conflict, but there could be conflicts potentially arising. So we wanted to bring this before the board.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Evans. So, got a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, let the record reflect motion passed unanimously. Anything else for the good of the quarter?
We have an executive session that, two items,
Okay,
5 minutes maybe at the most.
5 minutes total. One has to do with performance of a
Public employee.
public employee considered for employment.
okay,
The other is on building sales.
Real estate.
Real estate.
Potential real estate
5 minutes
transactions.
total for both.
5 minutes total for both. Any decision to be made as a result of them?
No
or
decisions to be made.
just information and stuff? So it is now 2:33. And so we'll go into executive session starting at 2:35. That will give time to shut down the electronics for the public. And we'll be in executive session till 2:40. The purpose of executive session will be discuss qualifications of an individual for public employment and real estate. And no decision will be made, and present will be senior management team and all three commissioners. And once we're through the executive session, we will be adjourned for the day.